Turning our attention now to Western Eyre Netball, and I'm joined by Reanna Freeman, coach of the Hawks, who had a big win on the weekend, to tell us everything going on in the association. How are you, Reanna?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yes, also very well, thank you. And we'll get straight into your big win on the weekend, because your Hawks knocked off Thevenard 52-35, and you're within striking distance of the top two now.
Yeah, a really good result. Definitely going into the game, feeling at home out at Pidnippy in our second to last game out there. So, going in there with a bit of nostalgia and, keen to get a win on the board, and the girls most definitely didn't. Sevi were without Cassie and Courtney, who are generally their two goalies, and Nikki, Association Best and Fairest, their defender, also out. So 3 big outs for Sevi, but that's seen Hayley Jericho go into defence, and I thought she did a really good job, paired up well with Lindsay Denton, who started at goal defence and finished at goalkeeper. For Hawks, we had a couple out as well. Our young players, Summer Braz and Hannah Chanowith, were both out, and our goal defence, Alana Beard. So both teams with some outs, and I guess not lining up as they usually would. That's seen Hawks bring in Tara Denelink to wing defence, who played a really good game and had to stand Amy Facklis. And anyone that knows Amy Facklis knows that she is a very hard player to stand, and she did a great job. So Hawks really happy with that 17-goal win. I think we're up by 7 in the first quarter, 11 at half-time, and the third quarter we actually both had a draw, so still only up by 11 at three-quarter and then 17 in the end, and quite exciting. I'm very biased because she's also my niece, Shelby Murphy, who is the daughter of Lindsay Denton. She was sitting as SR, and they had a little injury in the last quarter, so she got to come on and play not only her first A-grade game, but a bit of netball with her mum. So I always like those sentimental moments in netball, so well done to those girls.
Great stuff. Always good when it is a family affair out on the court. It's one of the great things about country sports. We do see that from time to time. So, yeah, really good to hear that. And, I mean, you're talking it down because there are a few injuries to both teams, but certainly a good win for the Hawks and probably a preview of a final. So maybe good that not everyone was playing. No one's giving away their secrets, their special secret plans ahead of a potential final matchup.
Oh, if only I was a coach that had secret plans. Maybe I need to get the pen and paper out and start making some.
I think you're just saying that as one of your secret plans, maybe, keeping your cards close to your chest. So
maybe.
We'll wait and see what happens in a month when finals start. And we had another game on the weekend, and it was another unexpected result. Wirrala, sitting on top of the ladder, went down to the Western United Tigers, just their third win for the season, and it was a bit of a blowout, 45-22. What was the story here?
Yeah, so unexpected in that they won by so much, but not so unexpected in the win. I reckon last week when we spoke about it, I'd said Wirrala would go in favourites, but I wouldn't be surprised if Westies could get over on top. A huge out for Wirrala without Emma Willis, who's their goal shooter. She was our association goal shooter and also made the top 10 of the carnival at Country Champs. So I don't think anyone can deny what sort of an impact Emma has on a game. But they also didn't have Bella Heron, who's their goalkeeper, and Natasha Gill, who runs through the middle. So that sort of changed their lineup. In saying that, they've still got two really strong goalers in both Soph Keller and Jazz Billing for Wirrala, and that also brought in Sarah Evans into defence. So still a really quality side for Wirrala. Came up against Westies, who I think in the back end of this season are finally settling with the team. I know they've had a bit of a hard run with both injuries and people being away and that sort of stuff, so maybe consistency is the key for them, and they're hitting their straps right at the right time. I sent Jade a message to ask her who her best player was for this game, and I always love it when you get a response from a coach saying that they actually couldn't pick. It was a real team effort, and all 7 on the court played a really good game. So that just goes to show they're doing all the right things at the right time of the year. She did say if she had to isolate one, maybe Lara Skinner, who played at wing defence. She quite often plays in the ring, but she was put out at wing defence against Wirrala and played a really good defensive game and sort of set Chloe and Harriet up in the ring defensively to get those turnovers. So a huge win for Westies. I think this is exactly what they wanted would have wanted at the right time of the season, and will make a really strong comeback in the last round of this season for heading into finals.
Now, it sounds like there's players out for pretty much every team at the moment. Are there any concerns going into finals with injuries, or is this a case of a lot of the girls maybe sitting on a beach in Greece or gallivanting around on a sail Croatia or something along those lines?
Well, I think if we could have a look at a map, we had a few up in Port Douglas in Queensland. I think there was some in Bali, some in Greece, and some somewhere else in Europe. So I think it's more, I don't know of any injuries. I think all of the outs were both it's cold and wet and flights are cheap, let's go on a holiday, and also with a music festival as well, took a few of the young crew out. So, which is a really positive thing. We don't want injuries at any time of the season, but especially not at this time of the season. So hopefully everyone's coming back from their holiday refreshed, ready to hit the court.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a different story in a couple of weeks when everyone's back from their holidays, and we're going to be ramping up for finals very, very soon. Just 4 rounds to go. So we're into round 12 next week, and we've got a couple of big games on the cards. Wirrala are on the bye. Ceduna Blues are just coming off the bye, and they're heading to Thevenard, so they'll have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they will. So I'm not sure where Blues are sitting as far as numbers go. Last time we played them, they had quite a few out. So if they've got their full side back, I think that'd be a real positive. Sevi's still without Cassie and Nikki, so 2 still really big outs. Courtney is back. She flew in Thursday night from her overseas trip, so I believe she'd be feeling the nice feels of jet lag today at home. So might take her a little bit to get warmed up tomorrow, but I don't doubt for a second that Courtney and Tracy will line up in goals really well together. And I assume that would put Lindsay and Hayley Jericho back in defence. So still a really quality side. They beat Blues by 20 the first time they played them and 10 the second time they played them. So Blues have most definitely closed the gap. I think if Blues went with a full team, look, we could see an upset like we did last week when Westies beat Wirrala. I wouldn't put anything past Debbie. They're a quality side, but also Blues really keen to get that win on the board and have got some quality players throughout their team. They just need to bring it all together at the same time.
And your Hawks are taking on the Western United Tigers at Penong. It was a draw when you played in round 2 and then a 17-goal win at Streaky Bay back in round 7. So which way do you think this one's looking at going? Will it be closer to the round 2 result or the round 7 result?
Well, considering I coach the Hawks, I'm really hoping for a good win, but I did not put anything past Westies. I mean, they've just come off playing Wirrala and had a really good win. Despite Wirrala having players out, one positive Westies will take away from it, one of many, will be that they would have got consistent play altogether for the last few weeks. I know when they played Sevi, they also had a full team, so they're building and looking really strong. Both teams going in with full teams, which is exciting. When we played them at Penong, it was the draw, and the last time we won by 17, it was a very wet and cold day in Streaky Bay, so I'm not sure that score is a good indication of how we match up. I think there'll be some really good matchups. Durrani Hoffrichter's playing some beautiful netball out at goal attack, and she'll come up against Alana Beard. These girls have played each other quite a bit, and it's just a really good matchup. They both play really good netball. Through the mid-court, Heidi Warmington, she's been playing some really good netball in the mid-court, and she'll match up against, our young ones, Summer Braz and Kobe Freeman. So, look, I'm going to tip Hawks because I'm their coach and we're going for the win, and I believe they can do it, but I'm very aware of the quality side that Westies is. I know how netball smart their coach is in Jade Norwood, so not putting anything past them and not underestimating them. I think it'll be a very tough game.
All right, looking forward to seeing who gets up in that one. Certainly getting into the business end of the season, and the wins are starting to mean just that little bit more. Enjoy the netball this weekend, Reanna. Good luck to you and your Hawks, and we're looking forward to catching up again next week.
No worries. Thanks very much for having me.